Today we're going to be doing an S2000 master cylinder swap on our 92 Honda Civic project car. Most of the reasons why people swap to this master cylinder is because the reservoir is actually attached to the master cylinder. The master cylinder on the EG style is mounted on the shock tower versus mounted directly on the master cylinder itself. What that ends up doing is tucking the reservoir down underneath the shock tower for a much cleaner, sleeker look. There is one slight issue. One of the issues is that the EG master cylinder is slightly shorter than the S2000. When placed side by side, they look relatively similar. However, upon closer inspection, you'll actually see there is a length difference. Because of the length difference, some end up making an adapter plate which spaces the master cylinder up from the firewall out a little bit more to make up the difference. The point of our S2000 master cylinder changeover today is because we're actually going to be making a brake line dedicated to this master cylinder in the EG, DC, and EK bodies. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those adapter plates for the S2000 master cylinders, but to give you an idea of what one looks like, we have an adapter for our Wilwood master cylinder configuration. The Wilwood master cylinder's bolt pattern actually does not coincide with the Honda. An adapter plate is needed to get this to bolt onto our body directly. The thickness of the adapter happens to be the same size that we would need for the S2000. Imagine an adapter with the same thickness for our S2000 making up the distance and length. What the adapter does is space the master cylinder forward from the firewall, pulling the clevis away from the pedal more so that it will actually connect. The changeover to the S2000 is as simple as removing the original and reinstalling the stock, assuming that you have the adapter bracket to make up the difference. The S2000 master cylinder is considered much more attractive because of its tucked, sleek look. The reservoir is now removed from the shock tower and mounted directly onto the master cylinder, as you can see there, which is considered much more attractive. The S2000 master cylinder is not a direct replacement, unfortunately. On top of needing the adapter, we also need to change the hydraulic line. Here, the OEM version, the hydraulic line comes in through the top. On the S2000, the hydraulic line feed is on the side. This means this is not a direct replacement, unfortunately. We're going to be making a hose dedicated to this style master cylinder and these bodies. Like many of our kits, I'll hand draw the schematic based off what I think it would look like in theory. Then we'll apply those practically to see if it actually will work. Fortunately, we already have a line kit for the EG for a stock master cylinder, so the length should be the same. The only thing that we need to check is the fitting on the other end, which I already have an idea it's going to be a 90-degree fitting. So we're doing this job on site. So I brought all my crimper and my hose. I'll string the hose out from the spool and then add my fittings based on what I think it should be. Our fittings are now attached to our hose, and I'll bring it over here to the master cylinder. And now we're going to check for clearance. We're going to kind of sit up there and check for clearance issues, and it looks like that might be the one. So go ahead and add our bolt to that. Just kind of snug it up there to see how it looks overall. The bolt's installed. I really like the way this is turning out. I think this is going to be the version, 90 degrees. There's lots of room underneath. This is going to be the kit. This will be available in stainless steel and black coated. Your choice and option. I like it. Let's get this going. Alright, so that was a real quick why you would want to swap to an S2000 master cylinder over an EG version and the differences between the two lines. Thank you again, and happy tuning.